Hi everybody, it's Don Stevens. I'm the guy that writes all these Just My Thoughts on Facebook. We're trying something a little different today. My nephew thought it might be a good idea for me to put my face out there. I'm not so sure that's a good idea, but if my nose looks a little funny, it's because it is. We've had some requests for some oral ministry, and so I'm going to try to do a little bit of that for you just to see how it goes. I'd appreciate any feedback that you have. Just put some notes down there and we'll decide whether we're going to do this regularly or just continue with the way we're doing it now. I have something on my mind today that's been bugging me for quite some time, and that's the things that are happening in the nation related to prayer in school, the Ten Commandments in the courtroom, the removal of religious symbolism, our ability actually to speak Judeo-Christian values is pretty well gone. The basis of all the laws in the United States, the ones in our courtroom, not stealing, not killing, those type things, are based on the Ten Commandments, which we've taken out of the courtrooms. Those laws were given to Moses by God himself, and those have been our moral base forever, back from when Israel received them, and they've been passed down forever. To remove them just seems sinful, and it is. We're even at the point where we're electing representatives to represent us in our government, to help write our laws, to put those things together. And these people that are being elected now, many of them are in direct condemnation of our way of life. America is changing quickly, and in my mind, not for the betterment of this nation. We have to take some action, and I think it's time to do that. With the recent events across America that are happening every day, we've seen the worst of Americans, and the hatred for each other's opinions has deepened. Christians are now a target for everyone, and sadly, hatred and harassment of the police is actually getting dangerous. In my humble opinion, these events show that the current decline in America, especially in our values, are not a political issue, but they're a spiritual issue. The video, which you're now watching, shows the disrespect being shown to our police officers. It's become so violent and unpredictable that the officers in this video actually did nothing to deal with the situation, probably due to fear of repercussions from the community had they acted. You see, the heart is deceitful, it's sick, it's sinful, it's lustful, it's vengeful. In fact, Jeremiah 17:9-10 supports this by telling us, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds." In Luke chapter 6, verse 45, we read, "The good person out of the good treasure of his heart produces good. The evil person out of the evil treasures produces evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaks." Evil actions come from the heart, the same as good actions come from the heart. If the heart's not careful and cared for spiritually, how can it know what's good? I believe we have a three-step process to stop evil actions from an evil heart. First of these is us, each of us, spiritually, personally. We have within us what we refer to as our conscience. And that conscience is a moral compass for each of us. We're faced with a decision to do good or bad things. Our conscience is that inner voice that warns us by making us feel good or bad about what we're doing and what we're about to do. The moral compass is based on those moral standards that we've learned as children and been taught by our parents through our young adult ages. If we've been actively involved in church and Bible study and prayer with others and for others, we've developed a moral base on those rules and standards given to us by God. The problem is the moral compass is challenged every step we take through the educational system. Every peer who doesn't have the same moral value base, and every television, radio, newscast, and movie that tells us our moral base is not the way of the world, not politically correct, but instead just exposes us as racist, trying to hurt the feelings of those who disagree with our morals. So, the first process level, us, may fail, and more times than not. When it comes to determining whether to do good or evil, we may decide to do the evil. The first process failing, then we move to the second level. Recent article in LifeSite News reported that today 1/3 of American children, a total of 15 million, are being raised without a father. Nearly 5 million more children live without a mother. And this has doubled since 1960. A child raised in a one-parent home can certainly be raised with a spiritual support system, but the chances are far less because the time necessary to ensure that the building of a solid moral base is much harder to find. If a child is raised without regular attention to their spiritual needs, they'll not develop a moral base to choose good over evil. That's a simple fact. With the statistics showing what they do, it is obvious to me that today's youth of America are operating under a different moral compass than those of us who were raised to honor God and to live for the Lord. With the second process level, family, failing, then we have to depend on the third process to stop bad actions. That third process is police protection. The problem with the third process is the fact that the first two processes do not have a moral base. Without that moral base, we see groups like Black Lives Matter and Antifa calling for the death of police. With the failing of prevention, the moral base for us, no family support base to assist us in making right decisions, and the third, with the hatred currently being directed towards the police, America is truly in a state of moral decline. Add this to the rise of immoral activities becoming acceptable behavior, we're headed towards a very negative future with little hope of changing all of those deceitful hearts. We see both sides in America today, although the good side is fading quickly. Good folks are stepping up to help and provide aid, and bad folks are on the offensive. Both actions are decisions made from the moral base of the individual. We could choose to stick our heads in the sand or pull the covers over our heads. Each one is a personal choice. Doing so may cause one to miss the terror of the events that might be occurring, but it may also cause us to miss the opportunity to do the good which is in each of us, sometimes hidden deeply, but it's there. Ignore these things or take action. Which road will you take? Just my thoughts for today. See you next time. This is Don Stevens. God bless you.